He is specialized in cybersecurity and its tools. Thank you for giving me an opportunity. And next, I hand over the session to the resource person, Mr. Mithun. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, I'm sharing. Can everyone hear? Hello. Very good. Very warm good morning to one and all. Before we start the section, I would like to make one or two points. One is, mm, whatever we are doing here is for the learning purpose only, and another one is I'm not an expert in this, but I will try to teach you whatever things I know in an effective manner in which you'll be able to secure your informations over in, secure information or in the, cyberspace. So cybersecurity. Before going into cybersecurity, let's start with some basics and move ahead into different areas that consist of it. So first, what is cyber? Cyber actually is a prefix term used to describe a person, a thing, or an idea which is a part of computer and information age. It involves computers, networks, our VR, IoT devices, everything in it. So you have heard of this cyber age, cybernetics, cyberspace, and cyber policing, and each thing has a prefix. Each word has a prefix cyber. This means that that word is related to computers, network, internet, and all. So a cyber age gives you age of computer, network, and IT. That's era of computers, networks, computers, networks, information technology, and this cybernetics gives the science of communication and automation control. For example, you may have heard of this autopilot, so all these things, autopilot and all those comes in cybernetics because it communicates with different devices and automates a particular process. So cyberspace is a notional environment in which communication over network occurs. Uh, then we got cyber policing. That policing is done in cyber area, means computers, network. If there is a crime, they will investigate it. They will look into the policies and laws and cyber laws and all. So cyber is a term that is added to a prefix to a word and make that particular word relate to our computer and network, computer and internet era. Then we got information. Information before going to before knowing what is information, you must know what is data is. Data is unorganized, unrectified facts, which will be it's just a collection of certain facts. Okay, it won't be in a structured manner. It won't be in an organized manner. Uh, it's an unorganized facts. We can unorganized collection of facts. We can say that it's a data. And by coming into information, it gives a meaningful content in the data. If we can get a meaningful content, if we are able to get a meaningful content, we can say that it is an information. For example, just I've written to letters here. So there is a 24 alphabets are written here. We can say it as data because reading it or just looking at it, we won't be able to understand what it is. Just it's a collection of alphabets. Okay, but when you look closer, you'll be seeing a word called as BAT, B-A-T, with, uh, with which we will be able to understand what it is. Okay, so in cybersecurity area, we are having something called as cryptography. In cryptography, we used to use a term called as intelligible and unintelligible form of information. Intelligible form, with intelligible form, we will be able to understand what it is. So if I'm saying, hello, how are you? It has a meaning. I can understand it. So I will say that it is an intelligible form of So that becomes an information. But if I am right, instead of this hello, how are you, I will change all those contents and I will add uh, some other symbols and random alphabets. Then it will become an intelligible form. You won't be able to understand what it is. So, so we will look into the cryptography and all in later stages. So coming to cyber security, as I have already told you, term, when the word is prefixed with cyber, it is related to the uh, cyber. It's related to computers, networks, and information technology devices. So hello. So cybersecurity is simply protecting our computer, giving security or protecting our computer systems, network, devices, programs, data from any type of cyber attacks or attacks targeting this type of devices. So we use various type of application, technology, process, and practices in order to control these things, in order to protect our cyber space. In cyberspace, we are having different informations and content awareness. So while learning cybersecurity, you will come into some term called as CIA triad. It's not the CIA that we have heard of. It's confidentiality, integrity, and availability. And it's an organizational model designed to gate information storage and privacy, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. These are the three most critical components to secure data. I'm not saying that this is all, but it is. We must at least have these three in order to say that our information is secure. So while focusing on each one of this, what is confidentiality? Confidentiality simply is to make sure that the data is kept secret. Okay, there will be certain set of rules that limits the access of information, and similar to privacy. No privacy, our data will be used by us, and we don't allow anyone to use that. Then only you can say that our data there is privacy. Similar to this, confidentiality also makes sure that only right persons access the information and others won't. Uh, in order to accomplish this, we can use encryptions. Uh, we can use we can protect our data using a password protected encryptions, or use some other tools and protect it. So just giving an example, if you have 100 gold coins and you're going to put that 100 gold coins in a locker and you lock it and keep your key, you won't be giving that key to anyone else. You'll be keeping it yourself, and you will give this to only a trustworthy person. So only that trustworthy person can access this. Similar to that, you will have a password or you will have your fingerprint or whatever. You won't be giving those information to anyone else other than those who are trustworthy to you. Confidentiality makes sure that your information is kept uh, secret and it is not accessed by anyone else. Then we have integrity. Integrity, integrity makes sure that the data is trustworthy and free from any tampering, and only a authorized person can change it. So integrity ensures that the data is also accurate and consistent over its lifetime. So we may use file permission. We may set permissions to particular files. Only those person can change it. Similar to that, integrity makes sure that only authorized person have access to information also, and only authorized person can change those information. Uh, for example, you may be using a Windows system. In Windows system, if you are using multiple users, you won't be able to access the information of any other user. Okay, only if they have given you permission to access those information, you will be able to access them, and you can access it. But if that particular user has given read permission only to a file, you'll be able to read it. You won't be able to write it or modify it. Similar to that, integrity makes sure that only uh, right persons are able to change the data. And we use checksum, we use take hash values, and we use to take something like that to ensure that integrity is sustained. Then we have availability. Availability is one of the most important things. And availability makes sure that information is available for the user whenever it is required for a use. It guarantees that reliable access to information is provided to the user whenever it is required. For example, um, if you're doing a transaction, uh, if you're doing a transaction and during that time, you only have 5 minutes to enter the credentials, and you don't have your ID, ATM card with you. Some of your friends may have taken it. Yes, you will ask your friend to give you the details. And if you didn't get it in within 5 minutes, your transaction time will expire and you won't be able to complete that. So information is also similar. Whenever you need a particular information, must get it. Then only we say that it is an information and the information has value. Otherwise, that information doesn't have any value. Now, we'll go into cyber forensic. I've just added this topic just because many people have a perception that cyber security is forensic, but actually it's not. Cyber forensic is relating to forensic evidence collection, examination, analysis, all those stuff in cyber area. For example, if there is a cyber crime, we used to get identify the particular device. We used to take the we used to collect that evidence. We used to collect that data from that device. We used to analyze that and find evidence relating to that crime from that data. I told you data, evidence, evidence in data that makes sure that that particular system was involved in some type of crime, and we must present that evidence into court so that it must be admissible also. So all these processes are done in cyber forensic, not in security. In security, as I've told you, we will protect our critical infrastructures, IT infrastructures, and if there is a threat, if there is an attack, we will detect it and we will try to prevent it. All those things will be done in cyber security. Forensic comes into play only after a crime occurs or a security breach is occurred. Then here are some common threats, vulnerability, and risks. So actually, what is a threat? No, first we will go with what is vulnerability. Vulnerability is a flaw in a program or a software or in a network, which can be misused by anyone in order to gain access into your systems. So vulnerability is any flaw in your system, network, and program. And a threat is a malicious act which damages your system or network. And mainly, all these threats exploit vulnerability in order to gain those access. Then we have risk. A risk is whenever risk is referred as a potential damage to any device. Whenever this vulnerability and threats come together, then we say that there exists a risk for that particular system or network. If we have a vulnerability in our network and if we have a threat, then we can say that our network is at risk. And there are some common threats here in cybersecurity. One is malware. As you may have heard of this. Malware is a malicious software or a program. Hello? Malware is a malicious program or a software that is intended to do harm to our computer or network. There are different type of malwares. Like you may have heard of ransomware, worm, virus, Trojan, backdoor, spyware. All these things are malwares, and majority of the cyber threat attacks are from this type of malwares. Then we have another threat called as denial of service. So just go with an example. You're using Gmail. Gmail is providing us with services like mailings. Mainly, it's providing us with mailing service where we used to send mails to our internet recipients. So one day when the Gmail goes down, what will happen? Won't be able to do those use those services. Similarly, Denial of service is a type of attack in which we will make sure that none of the services are available to its intended user. There may be a server and 100 users will be using the server. We will make down the servers goes down, and we won't be able to, and all those 100 users won't be able to access the server in order to get some service. So it is called as denial of service. And denial of service is originate from only a single user. If a single user if a single user is responsible for a denial of if a single user is used to deny brought down a server, we can say that it's a denial of service. For example, if I'm having a lab and there are 50 students there, I will ask one of my students to target the gateway IP gateway. Then I can say it is a denial of service. He will just use a ping of that command in which we send an ICMP packet with a load of 65,500 continuously to our gateway, and we will bring down that particular gateway. And only a single student is sending that information, that doing that ping of that. Then we can say that it's just a denial of services targeting our gateway. But if I ask those 50 students to target this particular gateway, it will become distributed denial of service because all the 50 systems are packets from ICMP packets or picking up that commands originate from 50 different systems and targeting at a single point. Then we can say it is a distributed denial of service. Actually, this ping of that just uses a 65,500 byte data, big data to target. This can be easily handled by all the servers. Right now, the attacks on distributed denial of service or denial of services are on majority of the systems take trillions of data, trillion bytes per second. For example, have you heard of ProtonMail? Some years back, the ProtonMail server was brought down, and the packet sent per second was around 2.4 trillion bytes. That much packets were sent in order to blow down that server. So the system can handle now this much. Then we have man in middle attack. I will just tell you with an example how man in middle attack works. So if you're sending a letter from A to B and it is transferred by a person Y, if that person opens your letter and reads it, all the information will be uh, the person Y can understand all this information. I'm sending a letter from A to B, and I'm sending it through a person Y, and Y is opening the letter and reading it. It's every information that is in the letter will be known to that particular Y. So I can say it's a man in middle attack. It's a passive attack. Make sure it's a passive attack because he is not altering any information. And if that person Y alters some content in that letter, I can say it is an active man in the middle attack in which that person changes the information. We will be using tools like Wireshark in order to analyze network traffic inside a network, and we will be able to analyze all those packets that are transferred in to and from our network to outside. Uh, Sometimes, if we are lucky, we will be able to get username and passwords unencrypted. If the communication is unencrypted or using HTTP, we will be able to get uh, username and passwords from it. So using man-in-middle attack, we can analyze what all data are being transferred from point A to B. Also, if we are lucky, we will be able to get some login credentials and all other information. Like if it is an SSL packet, we will be able to get some certificate related information, which we can use it later down for another type of attacks. And then there is phishing. Phishing comes under social engineering. It's a type of social engineering attack in which a fraudulent message is sent to trick a person to reveal some sensitive information. And this phishing attack is around 75% of the total attacks that is happening. If a system goes down, we can surely say that there is a social engineering attack, and out of which about 75 is based on this phishing attack. It's very simple. A link will be sent to you, and you will be asked to click that link in order to do certain things. Either the attacker makes sure that you believe in the mail and you just press that link. Either in the link you can embed codes in PDF or any image. So by doing that, if you are clicking that particular link or downloading that PDF, uh, the payload will be installed in your system, and that payload will try to capture every information that is in your system. Either or we can just create a fraudulent login page to your whatever website you're using, and you can send it to change the password so you can get the new password. The phishing attack are different type, like spear phishing, where uh, phishing will be mainly focused on will not be focused on anyone. It will be spread around. If I am having 100 or 500 email, I will just send the link to all this 500 without even looking who it is. But when it comes to spear phishing, I'll be targeting certain individuals. Okay, I'll be targeting certain individuals with and making sure that they click them using this social engineering tactics. And we will learn about the social engineering tactics later on. So I will tell you in detail how it works. Then there is something called as whaling. In whaling, we will be targeting some high-level managerial position people, and we'll be sending them this phishing mails and making sure that they click them. Same social engineering tactics are used here. Then we got SQL injection. You know what is SQL is, and if the input to SQL is not sanitized properly, we will be able to get into database, get information from the database. Then there are password attacks. Don't know 65%, 69% of the people uses their personal information for password. And if you are able to identify that person, I will tell you how to identify. You have given much information in the internet so that I can make a profile of you very soon, and I can get what all type of personal information you will be using in your password. So that's very simple. I will show you that. But around 69% of people uses this type of information for their password. They will repeat the password for different users, which makes it so easy for a attacker to identify uh, to crack into different systems. And while using your password, you must make sure certain things that must be uh, have different characters, both ca- capital and small letters must be there. Different special characters must be used. Numbers must be used. It must be jumbled around. This makes sure that cracking your password become very difficult.
இங்க நிறைய இன்னும் நிறைய
Hello.
ரிலேஷன் தான் இருக்காங்க. இதை விட க்ளோஸ் ரிலேஷன் தான்
So
இருக்காங்க.
hello.
என்னது?
Huh? Dua. Okay, then one more thing. Around 50% of the people uses their password,
அது
default password or
போன
weak
வரைக்கும்
password.
தான். அங்க
Just
போனதுக்கு அப்புறம் டைம் பண்ணவே தெரிய
like
மாட்டேங்குது. அதெல்லாம்
just
திடீர்னு
password
வந்துருது.
will be 1 2 3 4.
எனக்கு இன்னைக்கு ஜிபிஏ
One password which will be 1 2 3 4, or they'll be using their default password. Speed. Okay, 50% of the people will be using their weak password like 1234 ABCD, QWERTY. They will be using this type of small, very weak passwords, and some will be using default passwords, which is a very big vulnerability risk. You'll be able to download while brute forcing for a password. You'll be able to download this password word list, which is stored different types of passwords in it, different type of passwords which are you successfully used in the different attacks. You'll be able to use that those password into brute forcing this. And you must understand that when you are typing in a password, that password doesn't goes like that. In order to store the password, what normally every system does is whenever you register, you type in your password and confirm password page, right? During that time, your password will be taken, and the hash of that particular password will be stored in their database. Next time when you log in, when you type in your password in your system, that hash will be sent, not the exact password. For the exact password will be sent, the hash of which will be compared with the stored hash. There is something which, so uh, we can do either crypt if we are successfully, if we are able to get successfully those password files, we will be able to do cryptanalysis and find our original passwords. So when we find this original password, if it is weak and if we are using default password, uh, we can break that password so easily during cryptanalysis. If you are using a strong one, cryptanalysis will take years. Still now, any doubts? Next, we are going into another thing. So before which, I've just given you the basic idea of what the cybersecurity is. Hello, hello, is anyone there? Just a minute. I'll just come back. Okay, actually, what we were focusing is some basic terms and how those things work. Right now, we are going into something called as OSINT. Have you ever heard of something called as OSINT? It's open source intelligence, or commonly known as OSINT. It's a process which started during the Second World War, and the US created an intelligence unit, which and that intelligence unit was responsible for hearing open radio communication and gathering information of an imminent attack or other things like that. And the former Soviet, you heard of KGB, the former Soviet spy intelligence unit, KGB, famous. So its director has also said that 80% of the information that KGB got was from open source. The KGB got information about United States spy planes, their satellite information, everything from open source. That like using newspapers, open papers, research papers, all those based on which they have collected information. Similarly, your informations are also there in internet. You can use whatever, you can use those information to create your profile. Right now we're going to focus, right now I'm going to take you into something called as Google Docs. Google, similar, if you have any doubt, you will just ask Google. There is a term called as Googling. So, just just a minute. So I'm going to type in Google. What if I want to see all those webcams over internet? I can just type in uh, look here. What we are seeing is webcam in some place. Let me check on multiple view. It's openly available in your internet. So just look into it. It's some cities, and if you want to know where it is, you can just take this IP address and just go to ipinfo.io. I'm not going to type in ipinfo.io because first it will show my IP address. That's why I'm not going to do that. So you can just search this IP address there. You'll be able to get where the location is actually is. Then we got another here. It's from different countries. Look, we have Switzerland, United States, Portugal. It's night there. You got it. So if you want to search something else, you can also use the same thing here. So right now, why don't you go and type some, find some databases. So I will type file type filter here and db. Can a small letter also. Just go and open this and you will be able to find different uh, on GitHub you can find it. And this site exploit.db.com is a very good one. I can just open it. Just need to find a particular service and press it in order to get the information. It's a dumb icon. Just be patient and just search in it. You will surely get some databases with the username and password in it, and with an IP address also, in order to access that particular page. So I think for something very simple. That's why. So what they are asking is to change the query to this. So you'll be getting this information. You can just copy this and search in your Google. Okay, just do that. You will surely get it. Now we're going to go into another site called as Shodan. Shodan is similar. Is a search engine where all the Internet of Things, all those things that are connected to internet will be shown here with more details. I'll show you that. Whenever you're doing a port forwarding in your router, those information will be surely taken up by the Shodan and it will be listed here. So if I want to search something just like the webcam, or just type in outside this city. Sure. Look here, you'll be getting different IP address, what all services they are hosted. I got a router OS with the configuration page. Its version is there. We can just search this version with this router, this much information, and search for vulnerability. You will be able to identify the vulnerability and you can get the payload from internet with which you can attack the system. I'm not going into that. I'm only looking for something. The pages. Here you go. You've got an IP address with a camera. You see Equation IP camera. I'm interested in that. It's giving you the location, some details, IP address, the port to which it has to be open. You can just type in this IP address or press here. There'll be a login page coming in. You just need to log in. Here, it's given here. And the login is also so easy. Those information can also be found from that search itself, which I'm not going to do. So this is Shodan, where everything that is connected to the internet is linked to. Whenever you have done it, if you have done a port forwarding, surely which is done in everyone's system. If you are using a cable connection for internet, or if you are using any tool, then which any service provider they have done port forwarding. So surely your information will be there. You just need to search here with right keywords. You will get into or get what all things are there. That's Shodan. Then we have something called as OSINT framework. I'm using incognito mode. OSINT framework. Look here, this is OSINT framework, and this there are various tools which we can use in order to do whatever in order to collect whatever information we need. So here I'm going to start with username. I'm going to start with username search engine. What's my name? Sorry, it's not. Okay. It's the website. It has given some information about that one, with which you can install that in your system. So here, I just need to type in a username. Uh, can anyone provide me with a username? No one. So just type in something. Look here, I got a Rahul Raj. I'm not saying that this person is same everywhere, but it will be belonging to different persons. But if you have the right username, first, for example, if you are using a mail account at Gmail, for example, abcd@gmail.com. If I take that abcd and type here, I will get all the sites where you have registered, and you have filter here. So that okay, you can filter it out. Around 123 search results were found, and these are the sites, and this is the information of that person. So if you have the right username, you can find the person very easy. Similarly, we are having many other tools like this. With the email search engine, I'll go with Thunder, or you can use just a minute. Okay, then I'm going to type in same Rahul Raj. I don't know. Or I can use a domain. Actually, I should use a domain here. I'm sorry. If I use a domain, I can get all those STC. Here you go. If you have created an account, you will able to get all those information correctly. And you have two sources where all we can find those information. Contacts. Look here, where all your mail ID is registered, you can find it from here. If you have a mail ID, you just search with it, and where all those email ID have been or linked, you can find all those things from here. You just need to sign up in order to get more information. There are 999 more results from stc.ac.in, which we can see only after logging. So similar to this, all this we can use all these things and identify a person. So it will take a lot of time. For example, if I have a name, I place from that person is coming, I can go even search and find him him or her. For example, no, I will say the example in later stages, and I will show you how those information are used in internet. So I will right now show you some automated tool which can do all these things. It's Multigo. So normally it is installed in our Parrot or Kali. For this purpose, I have installed it in here. The first page, I'm going to start with the first investigation. So yeah, I'm going to add the entity because we are searching for a person. I'm going to add entity. Now I'm going to add this person here. Just increase the number to. Since I'm using a free version, I won't be able to get much more, but that's enough. So I will type the name of the person I want to find. Any names? So same Rahul. Once you've done that, I'll search in the websites where this Rahul is there. Okay, I found Rahul in all these websites. Because okay, and if you want to search more, go with the Facebook. Then I can type whatever things are there. So I will go with the old transform, which will run everything from starting from a date to the 2010 to 20. Wait for a minute and we will find it. So what we are finding here is the information relating to Rahul in Facebook. All these things are information. These are his IP address, it can resolve into an IP address and you can find it. This will be Wayback Machine. There will be images, snapshots. I'm not going to type or see what it is. Facebook sign in, login. All this information there. Just need to get the right information in order to create uh, attack. So actually, Multigo, you're looking like threaded board, right? Investigating threaded board. It's similar to that. It's Multigo is for a very long time. It is one of the most powerful tool in arsenal of any hacker. In order to collect information, we use Multigo. What we are using is a community version, so we won't be able to dig deeper into it, but still we can get various information about it. And Multigo, as you see, so Multigo is like a board of result of an investigation. Like I have put an image here, just like this, where those all the events information are linked together in order to find in maximum information about a crime. Similar to that, in order to find information about a person, we can use this Multigo. Otherwise, we can use different methods and do different searches and analyze and all those things. So this is OSINT framework. These are some OSINT works. I'm stopping here. I'm now going to dig deeper. You can get much more information about this person. You can create an exact profile, what he was doing, which all things he have done, what all website he has registered, what all username he is using. You can just profile a person just using this thing, using Multigo. Okay, is there any doubt still here?
Midun,
Sure.
Midun, you have some questions in the chat window. Akila ma'am asked, is both active and passive attack comes under man in the middle attack? This question was asked by Akila ma'am.
Okay, actually, when you're doing a man in middle attack, we can just eavesdrop. We can like using when you're using this Wireshark, we will just eavesdrop into communication that is passing through it. We won't be changing anything inside it. We can say it is a passive attack. Similar to which we can do an active attack also, like capturing the packet and replay attacks. We heard of that. We can use the same. Uh, this all comes under man in middle. So both active and passive will be present there. Only the way is how we use those things. If you are just monitoring the information, it will be an active. It will be a passive attack. Just eavesdropping into certain communication is a passive attack. But if we are actively involved in changing the packets, capturing the packets, and resending it later on, just the play attack and all those things, then we can say it is a passive attack. So both can come under this.
Okay. Another question asked by Mr. Murugan Sedraman. Cloud versus fog versus cluster also under cybersecurity.
So everything should come under cybersecurity, sir. They all have cloud has cloud security, which is also a concept in securing the cloud environment. Cyber is something, as I have told you, cyberspace consists of everything, be it cloud, fog, IoT, just a computer and network connected to internet, just your sensor at your home. Everything comes under cyberspace. You can divide that into different areas: IoT security, cloud security, system security, network security. But everything is under cyber security.
I think no more questions. You can proceed.
Okay. So value of your information. So with information, we can, I have told you, with information, we can make better decisions for how to attack a particular person, or how what link has to be sent, how to motivate him to click on particular link. If you have an information regarding certain things, we can plan and have a better mm, decision making, better decision making power. So this information provides us with that. There are two cases. No, uh, let me give you some examples. Okay, once once I know a person who, no, I will just tell you. Once I had a name. Once I know a person, I have a particular in a particular incident. I know a person's name and the uh, Activa or scooter he was driving in. I know the number and the name. With just that, we were able to identify that person exactly from where he is, his YouTube account, his Gmail account, his Facebook account, where he lives, his address, his phone number, everything was able to identify. It's it will take a little time, but you will surely get those information. You just need, if you have that number, you know where to search it, you will get the information of that particular work. And if you have that information, you go to another site which is government site, and from that government site, you can identify that person. You know the name and place. We can identify that person. We can identify his relatives, his or relatives. Then we can go much deeper, and we can search in different social media sites, and we'll be able to identify that person's connections, where all, what all. We can just create a profile based on that. We have done that with just these two information, just a name and vehicle number. Similarly, by just knowing a name or a place from where they are coming from, we will be able to identify that person also. Everything is available online. If you're thinking that none of your information is there in online, it's really wrong. You can find anyone from there. Okay, and using this, so informations are available there. You can just use it, and you just need to know where to look it and how to look for it. You will surely find those information which with which you can create whole CV of you, including your personal details and all. So, while coming into the cyber attack, according to Cyber Security SF, which is a company, they have of course reported that around 6 trillion is now approximately, and it will go by 10 trillion by 2022. This cyber attacks is costing the industry. Okay, and out of this, 90% of attacks are done by insiders. Insiders means you may be doing it knowingly or unknowingly. A person working inside an environment will be aiding an attack knowingly, unknowingly, or for some other benefits. And out of this 20%, out of this 90%, around 80% is done using social engineering tactics. I've told you about social engineering tactics. We will discuss later. So, in order to do a social engineering tactics, majority of the attacks are done by the social engineering tactics. If you, in order to be successful in this social engineering tactics, you just need to do certain things. That is, you need to collect as much information as possible. For example, if I'm going to target a company, what I want to do is I want to find who all are the employees, what all are they doing, how was their social life, social security, how are they active in their social networking site. I will collect maximum information on that, what they have done. You may know that every person used to upload a photo and location, tagging their location, process, and everything, and you just put it in their website, with which we can create what all things they have done, where all they have visited, uh, frequent visit to a particular place, movies, and all those information like that. Uh, what all things they have done. For example, if that person is going for a movie every day, it's every Saturday, and having a dinner from outside for some restaurants, they used to click photos. They used to add it in their social media sites. We can identify that. Using that, we can create a mail with the phishing link and state that there is an offer coming in this particular restaurant with 50% off or something else like that, and you just need to register it and just click the link. It will just provide that, and the person surely will click it because he used to visit that place every weekend. So you must collect as much information as possible. There are different other types of attack also for particular employees traveling every day to son's school or something like that. We can just make sure he gets a district call from this school, and during that time we can also call him and ask for his username and password. During this type of stress, people won't think much, and we will surely get his mail login credentials. So social engineering attacks are one of the most used in this type of things. And another area where, so I have noted that, and so another area where this information are used is for analytics and prediction. Analytics and prediction. Do you, have you ever thought why this Amazon is suggesting you certain things? It's just because of the information that you have provided it with. If you are buying certain things, it will suggest you certain things. If they know your pattern, when all you are buying certain things, it will suggest you that all those information you have given to those sites, they are using it. They're using it to predict what you are going to do. And there is one more thing. I will give you a small task. Just do it and just tell me, let me know if you are successful. Just take two phones. Just take two phones, one of yours and your friend. Both must have an Facebook app in it, and with all the permission set. Just you both are friends in Facebook also, and you just talk. That is person A and person B. Okay, person A and person B. Both of them take the phone of both of them. Just give all the permissions. Both of them are having Facebook app. Just keep it together and just speak about a friend of person B. Repeat his name, sorry, name, location where he's work, or company where he's working, the location from where he is. Just 5 or 6 times, just around it. And next day or after 2 or 3 hours, what you want to find is a, a friend suggestion for that will be coming to person A. We have checked it. It's worked because Facebook is using your mic to analyze what all things you are speaking. You just do it. I'm not doing anything. Just do it and just let me know if you are successful. Then if you are searching certain things in Chrome, uh, after certain time, after some 5 or 6 searches, whatever ads you're going to see is based on your search. It's also using your location, your information, what you have searched, in order to give you suggestions. So all those information you are giving into the giving into this Chrome or internet, it's going to analyze it and give back you suggestions. Now moving forward, let's see what are some trends in this uh, cybersecurity. Same as you know, cybersecurity is evolving rapidly. In new advancements are coming every year, and in years to come, it will be much more powerful. And still, similar to every field in computer science or related areas, here is one guy called as AI, artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence have come in to cyber security sometimes back. So because of its high predictive power, we can use this to analyze incoming traffic, data, monitor the behavior of each users, and do many things based on this. We can identify what is a who we can identify who is a genuine user, who's a attacker, what he is doing, what is his behavior, is there any behavioral changes, and we can do many things like that. And there is a concept called as good and bad AI. Whenever we use, it's based on how AI works. For example, have you ever heard of something called as Atari breakouts? Anyone? Have you ever heard of Atari games like Mario and all those? Okay, if so, there is something called as Atari breakout where an AI was told to play this game continuously, and it started to learn to do it. And then, but later on, AI did something that was the objective of the AI is just to score maximum points. So it started to learn the code, it started to learn the program, how it works, and it started to play. After a certain time, it started to identify the codes and found certain errors or bugs inside that code and misused that code in order to win again and again and again without even a single failure, and it started to continuously playing it. That concept is called as Atari breakout, where AI started to think for itself and started to do what is it programmed to do. Actually, it hasn't deviated from what its main objective. Its main objective was to play and win the game. Uh, it used some uh, unethical methods to identify those errors in the codes and run for it, and it did very well. That's why it's people used to say it's a bad AI because it has done certain. I think it has been using some unethical way, but still, if you are saying AI has done what it is told to do, that machine language. Okay, then you may have heard of deep fakes. You can just search in Google. It's an synthetic media in which a person in a picture or a video can be replaced by another. Okay, you can speak like our president or prime minister or any other actors. You can create your own deepfake videos. So that's also a. Then there is malware analysis. In malware analysis also, normally we used to do is based on signature based analysis of malwares, where we used to identify a certain key strings, and we used to look into it to find similar strings are present in there. Right now, those malwares are so evolved into certain forms that we can't even expect, actually expect. And those involves polymorphic. Have you heard of polymorphic virus? That is the virus in different forms. The same virus will be running in different form. The code will it will change its own code. It will encrypt itself. It will produce multiple things like that. So for that we need behavioral based analysis or acoustic analysis. Right now, computer AI, if you're considering AI, there is semantic analysis of code in order to identify this um, malware. Then there is computer vision of binary binary data present inside a RAM or memory in order to identify malwares. Research are going on like in these areas where AI comes in for malware analysis. It's a very good area. And there is a network packet generators. AI is generating network packets also. Uh, have you ever heard of something called INET? It's internet simulator which simulates network packets, making it look like a real internet is connected to our system. So even though it is doing that, the packet won't be that much genuine. But we can use AI to create genuine packets with uh, all the three TCP handshakes, whatever things the plate. We can create genuinely looking packets based using this AI. If I am sending this genuinely looking packets from multiple system into a server, we will be taking down the whole server because the server is going to think it's a genuine packet. So we can say it's a bad AI, but actually its use was something else. So bad and good AI. comes when we are how we are using it. Okay, if you're using it in a good way, you can use it. Have you heard of Darktrees? Darktrees is a company which uses this AI-powered algorithms to identify phishing mails. They have different set of software solutions in which in every solution they use AI-powered algorithm to identify threats. And there are main things like that, which in which AI is used for a good purpose in cybersecurity. And there are certain IoT based security protocols in which also uses AI in order to analyze the packet, analyze the traffic, do detect attacks, prevent it. Okay, then we go on to another trend is ransomware. Actually, the ransomware came into play just because uh, the online activity has increased. So ransomware attack has increased by around 61% according to PwC research in 2022 compared to 2019. So compared to 2019, around 61% increase in ransomware attack. So the main reason is, as I've told you, is the growth in amount of activity carried out in online and in digital environment. So ransomware is a type of malware. I told you in malware that there is a type called as ransomware. So ransomware is a type of malware deployed to your system by phishing links. Okay, using phishing link, it will be deployed into your system. Once the ransomware infects your system, it will log all the files with an unbreakable encryption, and the decryption will be only possible uh, once we have paid the ransom. And the ransom will be paid normally in cryptocurrency, so tracking it will be very difficult. So now the ransomware has evolved into multiple forms. So similar to the old malwares, it has also started to there are anti-ransomware solutions, like just like our antivirus. And in antivirus also there is uh, ransomware detectors, but it has evolved. This ransomware has evolved in such form that it is using anti-malware concepts, uh, such as polymorphism, encryption, in order to avoid detection. So they are also evolved. The both sides are evolving. As I've told you in the start of this session, cybersecurity is evolving rapidly. The threat to cybersecurity is also evolving rapidly. Then we have IoT in the threat of vulnerable things, as you can say, because because as the number of devices are increasing over time. In the first section of this FTP, we have learned about future of IoT, in which Professor have told us that there will be around 85 billion IoT devices in the world. So this 85 billion, there is a sharp increase in the number. It's increasing the number of potential access point into a network. We can say that a small sensor or a small communication will be highly secured. So we can just find a vulnerability, and we can just break into it, and we can just use it to find all those things. And coming into IoT also, there is a different type of threats IoT is facing. For example, attackers mainly focuses on 2 3 areas of uh, two three areas like physical, that is sensors, IoT devices. They used to target those physical devices, tamper with, clone with, and then they will use some unauthorized access to those physical devices. Then there is communication, in which we can do some man in middle attack. We can inject certain packets. We can just cut the. Then another area where the attackers will focus is data storage and management area of IoT. How data is stored, how management is done, all those things like that. So attackers can even lock a user inside his home and modify this heating, ventilation, and AC system. And we can also change the temperature in data centers, which will burn out normally data center, all the data will be stored, and it will be stored in uh, particularly low temperature because of rapid transfer between senders. Information is retrieved back, so uh, it will be very low. Means low temperature has to be maintained, and this is monitored using some IoT devices. So we can just we can just change the temperature. We can just hack into those sensors and change the temperature, and we can just burn out whole data centers. Then AI is also coming into this. There are various security tools that in order to modify this type of attacks and assets. Um, there are AI-enabled monitoring and preventing systems. Further, there are many research in, especially in designing uh, IoT related security architecture. So then I have left out one point here, that is quantum computing. Actually, have you heard of quantum computing? Normally, in our computing system, we will have one either one or zero, but in quantum computing, a bit can be either one, zero, or both. That's called as qubit. So one of the strongest encryptions right we use can be break within seconds using quantum computing. You can just search in, because quantum computing is being developed right now. Only IBM and Google are successfully done that, but they are they haven't even deployed it. So I was saying that majority of your data are present in internet or social media site. How can we remove it? Actually, okay, in Facebook and Instagram, they are both using the same policies. And what the policies they are using is, in order to delete an account, they will give you at least 90 days time, and they will delete your account, but they will keep some information about you, like your login activity, some messages, and all those stuff. They will keep it. Same for Instagram. This both companies will keep your information, and it will be accessible only for by the law enforcement agencies. Uh, the better way is to deactivate that account for temporarily some time. Then we have this Twitter and LinkedIn. These two, Twitter and LinkedIn, follow another same concept, but the time is 30 days. If you are requesting for a deactivation, you are no, if you are deleting account from Twitter and LinkedIn, your information will be deleted within 30 days. After 30 days, and but they will keep certain information about you, and it will be accessible by law enforcement agency. But if you want to see your past tweets, you can just use Google. You can just request Google, and they can provide you with the past tweets if you if at all you have deleted your account. And there are certain laws in certain countries, like EU has right to forget. If you are not using a certain website where your information is posted for 1 year, they will automatically delete it, delete everything. They won't be keeping anything. So there are certain laws like that. And one thing you have to understand is, once you are in cyberspace, you have given some information here, nothing will be removed from there. Everything will be here. For example, if you have a phone, you have uploaded some pictures, or if you have connected your pictures, if you have connected your phone using an account, and you lost your phone somewhere, you can buy another phone. You can just try to get all the information from your previous phone into your new phone without your new phone. Yeah, without your old phone. Okay, so similar backups have been done everywhere in the system. So it is very possible, very much possible. Now we're going to do last two topics. So I'm going to show you some tools. One is Utopia. Utopia. So I'm not going to teach some of the important ones, means not important, some of the tough ones like IDS or IPS system is in your system. We can just use certain small application which will be used, which can be used by everyone without some without knowing much technical into it. So there is something called as Utopia, and you can just visit the site. u dot IPS. Okay, you can just download it here. Uh, you can download and install it here. It's a peer-to-peer networking app which help you to communicate with uh, one another. So this Utopia system in your system with your receiver systems, and it is using its work outside a centralized server. So there won't be a centralized server. All the information normally in every system, every communication system, your information will be sent to a centralized server, which will be sent to your internet recipient. But in this here, we are having a peer-to-peer connection. Okay, in this peer-to-peer connection, you will be connected directly to your uh, destination via different nodes, and these nodes will be other Utopian systems. So you can just download it and use it. It is using a public key encryption in order to encrypt the messages, and it uses two session key encryption. So password sniffing is very difficult in it, as it is masked with around 2 raised to 28 network node with same IP address. Also, it is sometimes it sends out decoy packets into the network, so that tracking of a particular identity is very difficult. So if you want to communicate over internet anonymously, you can use it. This has certain features. You can just download it and install it in your system. And then we have another tool called Sonalam. Actually, why I'm recommending it is it is having a good firewall system built into it. It's an antivirus system, and we are not using an antivirus. Just go for the firewall system. You can just see what all communication is coming in, going out, and you can control each and everything, or packets, which what type of communication have to come in, go out. Everything can be done using this Sonalam firewall. Then we have something called as Proton. Proton node, you can use it. It's an end-to-end encrypted mailing service which uses client-side encryption. Normally, no other mailing system has this type of client-side encryption method. If you are sending a Gmail, it won't be encrypted in the client side. It will send directly to your server, SMTP server. But here, it will be encrypted in your system itself, and it will be sent out. And the user data is also cleared, so you won't be able to get who sent it. You can be anonymous while sending it. And I recommend you to use the app of this Proton. Then you have Tor browsers. Have you heard of onion routing? There's something called as onion routing. Tor browser, we can just it's short for onion router. It's an open source software which enables you to have anonymous communication, which means your location and your identity will be hidden from your network, and no one will be able to track you. If you're searching certain website, no one will be able to track you. Even though I am saying like this, previously FBI has cracked this thing and arrested certain individuals for crime, but still it's secure. So you can just install it on your system, Tor, just like Tor. Here you go, and you can download it. You can install it and browse your internet. Every tab in the Tor browser will be having a different IP address. You can use both in system and mobile. And if you're using it in mobile, you can also download something called as Orbot, ORBOT. the thing. Forward. It can forward can encrypt all the communication from your system. And if you're having this type of WhatsApp, Instagram, everything, you can reroute its traffic through or both, which makes you anonymous. They won't be able to detect you. It is providing an end-to-end encryption also. Then there is another tool called a sysinternal. Sysinternals. It's developed by Microsoft. It's developed by Microsoft for Windows OS, and you can use it to manage, diagnose, troubleshoot, and monitor Windows-based environment. You can just download it from this website, Microsoft own website. You can just download it, just copy it into your C. I can show you that. Here it is. And there are a bunch of tools which we can use. So what I'm most interested in is this process. It's Process Explorer 64. You can just give it a try. And always try to run it as administrator. Once it comes up, here all the processes that are running in your system is listed. Not just listed, it is connected with VirusTotal, which search through the hashes submitted by this process and identify that if it is a virus or a malware or not. Okay, the 0 by 23 is it has searched more than 73 sites but couldn't find a 0. But here I have two things. So while clicking it, it will give the details of this. So it has searched with different application like undetected, but still these two websites have given a malicious content. Is saying that my process, this process is a malicious content. So you'll be able to identify every process that is running in your system. You'll be able to get details of this each thing. You just need to look it. If you're running a task manager, you won't be able to get this much process. So I will recommend you to use this in your Windows. And there is one more. There are many, and there is something called as TCP view. TCP view. You can use this and identify all the connection coming from and to your system. You will find the port which will address it is linked to, what all process it is running, how many packages it has sent. You can see many things from this. I'm not turning on this. Then there is auto run. There are different things you can just view in it. It's a suite. It's also a sysinternal suite because there are multiple programs, application, each having its own properties. So just download it and use it. And another thing I would recommend you to use is Signal. Signal is a cross-platform centralized instant messaging app which is secure. It's an open source thing. Many persons have tested its code and said that it is very much secure. It's and you can't trust this Messenger, WhatsApp, and all, because there are many cases in which all this were cracked in. So can you use Signal? You may be familiar with it, but there is something that you haven't even heard of. It's Threema. Application. It's an open source end-to-end encrypted messaging application. What is the main advantage of this and Signal is it doesn't need phone number, but Signal will ask for your phone number, but it doesn't have need your phone number. It will just need it will just assign you a user ID, and using that user ID you can talk to anyone. If your friend is having your user ID, he can just call you, he can just send messages to you, but this is not free. Then do you know what is the biggest threat in what is the biggest threat in cybersecurity? Anyone? I will say it's you, because even if we are having a most secure application with you, and if you don't know what to do and you're clicking some unwanted links, it's sure that if you're clicking some unwanted links, the security will be gone, right? So you can't say that your system is 100% secure. You're having an IDS end-to-end encrypted environment. You're having everything like that, but still, mm, just a minute. So okay, thank you. If you're having a secure system, you're having a secure system, you're having a secure system. Uh, you have provided with hardware-based encryption, so communication is done controlled by firewalls, and everything is highly secure. You are having top-end end-to-end solutions for communication. You are having top-end anti-software, anti-malware monitoring system, and you have everything. But still, if you click some unwanted links, your system will go, security will be compromised. And it's said that one of the only system, uh, the only system that is truly secure is the one that is switched off and buried inside some bunkers in the middle of an ocean. But still, people will go and take it out, right? And we used to say there are certain systems called as air gap systems, in which it is not connected to internet. It's not connected to internet. All the communication adapters are being removed, like Wi-Fi and remote, all the Wi-Fi, Bluetooth adapters have been removed, and you can use that system. Still, that was vulnerable. If some of your friends bring in some virus and plug into it, your system will go down. Ransomware in a pen drive can still destroy your system. So once you become solely, uh, if you are focusing on what you're doing, then only security will come in. Because 90% of the security lies in your hand. If you're doing unwanted things, then your security goes. So as I've told you, just a minute, I will just come back. Just hold on a second. I've just told you no to click on unwanted links, but still you just clicked them and you gave me some information. Okay, it's nothing. Just I've just logged your IP. There's not a problem. Can just remove it. Now just look into it. I will show you. I've given you a link, right? Don't use. I've told you this much. Just no to press any link that is sent unwantedly, right? But you did it. Uh, I just want to know how much careful you are. You must be curious. You must think every time the link that comes to you is from form. It's from something else. You must look into it and press. So nothing wrong has happened. Just I got this much information. That's all. Some error you have clicked. That's all. I will just delete it. Don't worry. But always be careful while doing this type of things. I'm sorry to do this, but I just want to make sure you have listened to what I've told you. Okay. Don't click some unwanted links. Just be curious when you are receiving a link. Just go through that link. Just read it. Just look into it. Just here I've used that Grabify, something like that. Normally it will come like forms. Okay, you can embed a form, another link into a form. Uh, you can embed two links. That can be done, but still you must be curious. I'm not the one who has to send this. Similarly, while doing this type of things in internet, you must be curious about what you are going to click. Okay, I'm really sorry. Don't take it as any other way. I just need to know. No, it doesn't have a spyware. It's nothing like that. It's just a link to capture your IP address. That's all, and it will be removed once I delete that account. Okay, once I delete that tab, it will be removed from everywhere. There will be no list of anything. You just don't have to worry. It's not a spyware. It's not anything else like that. It's just a link just to make sure you are doing. You are just listening to what I've told you this much. Just you don't have to worry about it. Don't worry. It's called as Grabify. I can show you that too. Don't do it to any other. Okay, anyone else. Uh, where is it? It's called as Grabify. I can just create a link. I can just share it, and once you click it, I will get this much information. Just your IP address, value, location, and all this. Just I will remove that. Don't worry, I will just remove that. I know what is cybersecurity is. Okay, and thank you very much for listening to this. And if there is anything, okay, thank you very much. Is there any doubt? Hello, is there any suggestion? Is there any questions? Okay, so with this, I will conclude my session and don't have to worry about anything. Just I will remove those links. Okay, I'm getting many questions in chat box. Then can you suggest? Yes, Google can suggest you some good password, but always try to do it yourself. You can use try to do it in a bigger way. It must be at least more than 12. That will be very good. And in that, you just focus on there are cap locks means lowercase, uppercase letters, special characters, and numbers. All those must be jumbled together, like A capital, B small, then at some number plus Z capital, Y small, W capital, like that. Just do it yourself. That'll be very good. Don't go for Google suggestions. And so actually, WhatsApp is saying that they are end-to-end encrypted, uh, but they store their information in their server. Even though they are saying they are end-to-end protected, just think of a thing. If there is a some court cases, you just ask WhatsApp to give those chat history. They will give you an entire chat history because those keys shared with you and your receiver uh, WhatsApp server also know what is the key, so it can easily take the bait. So what an Utopia and all those public key encryption system uses, you will be given a public and a private key, and it's an cryptography concept where you will be given a private and public key. You can just encrypt according to it. You will be encrypting your message using your receiver's public key, and he can only decrypt it using his private key, which is stored inside his system. And it's always better to use something else. WhatsApp is not that much secure because you used to get many information, many messages stating that this thing. You have heard of Pegasus, no? In Pegasus have iPhone, even iPhone security just by using WhatsApp code. They manipulate WhatsApp code and just get into your systems. So I think the WhatsApp is there. So there are many free websites and YouTube channels for cybersecurity, and I will suggest you a free website called as Cyber Reality, which gives you a which gives you details of various courses or we're focused on various things. But it is purely focused on security-based products and all. And Murugan sir, actually, cybersecurity is a very, very large topic, and we can just keep on speaking for hours. But I'm sorry that it's a little time. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Salting mechanism is used in hash concepts. When you salt, there are certain hashes of your password will be stored in certain location, and certain salt values. Salt values, it's just a random value will be added into that. Uh, hash per salt has to be created. No one will be able to know the salt, so they won't be able to create the hash per salt value. So it is very difficult. So hashing and salting is very important. And thank you very much. Thank you for. Now here is your real attendance form. You can use it. That's not mine. Thank you very much. Thank you for.
Okay. Sir, can you hear me, sir? Midun, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So, no duty is more urgent than that of returning thanks. With this quote, I would like to propose the vote of thanks. I would like to thank our management, the principal, the convener, the coordinator for organizing this six-day faculty development program on emerging trends in contemporary technologies. Next, I would like to extend my thanks to our resource
కొంచెం చిన్న
person,
voice.
Mr. S. Midun, for giving eye-opening session on cyber security. Thank you, Midun. I thank all the faculty members of the School of Computing Science, STC, and my beloved participants from various organizations for your active participation. Thank you all. Next, I thank the technical staff for giving all the technical support to execute this event in a successful way. Once again, I thank everyone. Thank you.